Hey guys, how's it going? This mindset single-handedly changed my entire life. Now, what is this mindset? Now, for me, I've been going out and approaching for a long time. I'm what's called a dating coach. I go out and approach a lot of women so that I can help out other men in being attractive themselves. Now, in this time period, I would come against so many different types of personalities, so many people of different emotional value systems, people in different energies, and oftentimes I would come across people that were just angry, pissed, sad, depressed, jealous. They were just this myriad of negative emotions. And I had to figure out how was I going to handle these people? What was the best way to deal with these kind of people? And this is what I'm going to actually get into this video. So what I learned was a technique that I teach all my clients to this very day. And I call it the emotional gas mask. Now imagine that you were on a plane, right? Now there's this thing that they do on airplanes, okay? So when the gas mask falls, when the cabin pressure drops, what are you supposed to do with the mask? Are you supposed to put it on the person next to you first? Are you supposed to put it on yourself first? You're supposed to put it on yourself first. Why? Because if you pass out, how are you supposed to help out the person next to you? It doesn't make any sense. So what do? Put it on yourself first, and you can put it on the other person. Now, this is how I deal with my own emotions. Now, for the most part, I'm not always in the zone. As much as I work on myself, as much as I am a positive entity, I'm not always in a good positive mood. Sometimes I get depressed. Sometimes I get sad. Sometimes it's really tough for me to make it through the day. And in times like this, I need to plan a strategy for myself to be able to handle people. Now, this is the thing. Emotions are absolutely contagious along with thoughts. I'm constantly pinging and giving my emotions. Right now, I'm excited. So you guys can feel the excitement through the camera. We're made to kind of like to emit emotions and to feel other people's emotions. Now, if I approach somebody and I'm starting off the night in a good mood and I'm approaching women and somebody comes to me with depressed energy, what happens? I start feeling depressed myself. So the idea is, first and foremost, to work on my own emotions first, and then from that headspace, I can help other people out with their emotions. So once I get happy, once I get excited, once my frame of my emotion is so strong that nobody can move it or wave it, then at that point, then I can help other people out. I can approach a girl that's in a bad mood and I can flip her to be happy. I can approach a guy who's really depressed and I can make him happy. I can like switch around people's emotions because my emotions are so strong themselves that I can help out other people. Now, oftentimes when people go out, they take on this mindset that, or like not even just going out, like in your everyday life, you go to the grocery store and you assume that everybody's out to get you. You assume that in your everyday life that everybody's the enemy. This is the worst mindset to have about people. Here, I'm gonna give you another caveat. So the way that I view any social situation that makes me super fucking charismatic is this one thing. It's that I view everybody as my best friend. If you were to ever talk to me, I'm gonna treat you like you're my best friend. And what's gonna happen is you're probably gonna become really good friends with me. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. The same way that emotions are contagious, so are frames. If I believe that you're my best friend, you become my best friend. And this is where it comes down to. So there's a book, I can't remember who it is, I think it's Seth Godin who said this. There's 4 different ways that people view the world and in their own certain places. I suck, everyone else sucks. I suck, but everybody else is doing well. I'm awesome, but everybody else sucks. I'm awesome and everybody's awesome. And this is the last place you want to get to as a human being. And this is why. When I think everybody else is awesome and I give everybody the benefit of the doubt, a lot of times people raise to the standards of actually being awesome themselves. Nobody was born being a bad person. Like Hitler even thought he was a good person. Hitler thought he was a good person in the end. Like nobody wants to be a bad guy. If you assume the positive out of everybody, if you assume the positive in any environment, you assume people are going to have fun, you're trying to do the best for other people, people sense it. And ultimately, for the most part, life gets so much easier. Like when you're in traffic and somebody cuts you off and you fucking lay on your horn and you're pissed off at this person, instead of being understanding that this person is probably at his own level of stress and fears and a lot of stuff's going on with him and you're just adding to the problem, instead of you just being relaxed and be like, whatever, haha, relaxed, because you're not going to let the emotional gas mask get ripped off of you. You're going to keep centered throughout your entire day. And this is how I live my life. This is one thing to say, but how do you actually make this a part of you? Now, the tough thing is switching around mindsets and making yourself believe something different or taking on characteristics that are foreign to you. For me, pulling myself out of this depressed mentality was a very long journey for myself. And nowadays, for me to switch around mindsets and beliefs, it's really easy, but it was a very hard thing for myself to learn. Like it wasn't an easy switch to go from this depressed, sad, like hopeless kid to like this grown adult that has a really good emotional ecosystem. So I'm gonna walk you guys through how I did it so you can do it yourselves. Now first, practice. Go out and talk to people and ask yourself, could I have done better? Was there any point where I wasn't in the right emotional space? You're not going to get better with talking to people and handling people's emotions by sitting in your room. In general, you have to go and connect with other people, and you got to practice. Now, the next thing is visualization. Imagine how your next 2.0 version of yourself would handle a situation. How are you going to handle something? So you come to like, so this is the thing that I always tell people. So when you're crossing the street, do you get really anxious and you start walking faster because you're worried the other person's going to judge you? Or are you just like really relaxed about it? You're like, oh, thank you, man. I appreciate it. And you're just like casually walking across the street, taking it that this person is going to be kind to you, and you're assuming the positive from him instead of assuming that he's going to get mad at you now because you're taking up his time, you know, crossing the street. Are you rushing, or are you just really relaxed? You feel no negative emotions in your body. Like where are you in your body currently? This is the question I want to ask yourself all the time. Look at to where you have the negative emotions and then pinch them, because there's a personality defect or something you're doing wrong in your head. There's some kind of mindset that's fucking you over. And you need to pinpoint it and ask yourself, how would a better version of yourself think differently, act differently? How would he reframe the situation so that he feels more positive and more of a light in people's eyes? How would he feel more impactful? Another thing I did on my other channel was I sat down for 48 hours and I wrote down a bunch of notes and tried to break down myself, and I tried to understand me. This was a massive help in this area as well. And I'll say this, it wasn't an easy thing to do, to like really peel away at myself and like look really deep and see where everything was going on. Like, what were the cogs of myself, my machine in my own head that were causing me to do certain things. But by doing it, by putting focus to it, focus goes, energy flows, by understanding what I was doing wrong, by understanding my monsters. So a vampire, you put a stake through the chest. A werewolf, you shoot it with a silver bullet. Once you understand your monsters, it's a lot easier to kill them. Like, if you didn't know that you could kill a werewolf with a silver bullet, it's a lot scarier. Now it's some invincible thing, but once you understand it, then it becomes valuable and you can tear it apart. Once you understand why you're doing something, it's really funny how it just collapses under its own weight. So this is the same thing I want you to do yourself. Put focus on yourself and build the interpersonal intelligence that you need to develop and grow as a human being. Now, I am a dating coach and I also am a life coach. If anybody wants to get consultations from me, hit me up. I have all the details in the description below. And with that being said, peace out.
Yeah, I flow like a river, I'm a big wave. And they say the kid is sick enough to spit AIDS. Get paid, leave a brother limping if he bitch made. Reaching for my trigger while I stick you with a switchblade. Real players never get played. Always getting bitches, I've been pimping since the 5th grade. Listen to the kid, he's just so vicious how he spits rage. Wishing you could diss somebody, rips it like a slip page. Yeah, see I spit it on a nightly. Got the